Beautiful people, welcome back. This is Kiki here, sending nothing but love, peace, and positivity your way. Hoping you're having a fantastic day. So, had a few errands to run. Had to grab me something to eat. It's not the best, but it will put some on my stomach because I haven't eaten, been ripping and running. But I wanted to kind of chat with you for a little bit and discuss some things that I experienced this past couple of days. Make sure that is, I don't know, for some reason Taco Bell, we have something. Okay, I got my veggie burrito, and hopefully it treats me nicely. So I think in my last video I did mention that I went through a little truck issue. The truck is made for towing, and for some odd reason I tested the towing out and it was a fail. So I don't know if it's because of the type of Dodge I have, I don't know, but yeah, that my truck was like, oh heck no. As a matter of fact, my truck name is Grace. It's gray, but I call it Grace because I had this truck everywhere from Alabama all the way close to Miami, and I know we've been riding out, it's been holding up pretty well. But when I put that tow on the back of this truck, it gave out. And so when I took it to the shop, the people was telling me that they're trying to calculate, you know, the cost of what it would be to repair. And the mechanic sent me the whole invoice and said it was going to be 10 grand. And I'm like, I sent the message back. I said, are you sure you got the right truck? Because I think you got the wrong truck or the wrong person. And he was like, you know, well, we can see what we can do as far as getting a warranty or getting it approved for you know, the cost to be covered. And so it took him about, you know, a couple of days to get in contact with somebody. But my divine knew what I needed and knew how to be on time. Because these people said, okay, well, we'll make sure we cover your vehicle's under warranty, you good to go. And I was like, oh, because y'all was going to get this truck back and we was going to try to work something else out. Because I'm like, that don't even make sense. One little issue can cost almost 10 grand. It just doesn't make sense. But I'm grateful. I am so happy. I'm hoping that, you know, nothing else goes wrong. And if it does, I have the money to get me another one. So, along with that, I took my kids on a little mini vacation. We went over to Cocoa Keys, a little, you know, inexpensive, fun place. You should check it out. They have an indoor, well, they have like a covering over one part of the pool, and then they have like a big water slide over on the other side. And so I took my niece with us. This was our first vacation together, my 2-year-old niece, and she was a sweetheart. She was trying to hang in there. She even was trying to take me through some areas that I wasn't even ready for. So she saw her brothers go over to the water slide, and luckily they did have like a little toddler section, but she wanted to take her time to get up there on the slide. And I'm like, oh Lord, she holding the line up. I don't want none of these kids to start getting mad with her and crying. And so I said, let me go ahead and get on the slide with her and speed it up. Now, me trying to be all cute, I wasn't prepared to get on no slide. Most I was trying to do is get my legs wet. That's all I wanted to do. But boy, my toddler niece decided to go up the toddler slide, and it was 2 parts. So, and I seen all the other parents, they got on the other side with their little toddler child, and it went pretty well. So, you know, me with my little hairstyle and my lace wig and my lashes and everything all done up, I get up there. And I'm like, okay, it shouldn't be too bad. I'm big, and, you know, ain't a lot of water gonna get in my face. I went down that slide, and when I got off that slide, I did not look like the same person that climbed up them steps and went up the slide. I mean, all the makeup was gone off my face. One of my lashes was missing. My lace wig went from a part being in the middle to a part being on the side. And I was like, oh no, I ain't signed up for this. Oh no. And she just wanted to go up there. We went up there at least a good 5 times, but the rest of the time I had to beg her brothers to go up there with her. Her brothers was like, nah, we want to do big boy stuff. And I'm like, this your sister, you better spend some time with your sister. But yeah, I wasn't prepared for that. So let me tell y'all parents, if y'all decide to take y'all children on a vacation, squeeze in some time for yourself. Because I know I needed a vacation inside of that vacation after I went through what I went through. And, you know, I did have a blast. I enjoyed myself. We all had fun. I just wasn't prepared for a lot of things. But, you know, I have plenty of kid-friendly skills. So I pretty much roll with the punches. That's all I did. So, but yeah, I do plan on trying to get me some money together so I can go on this Bahamas trip, or I can go over to Jamaica. I've been trying to get over there for the longest, and there's always something coming up. But that's one of the things I'm shooting for, because I think it's well needed. You know, I went through a lot and I accomplished a lot, and it seemed like I never really had a time to celebrate, you know, myself or celebrate my accomplishments. So I'm telling you, parents, make sure you make time for yourself. I was going to the front office at the resort to refill my ice bucket, and as I was walking by the parking lot, I heard this woman, Caucasian woman, just going off like, "Don't you fucking talk to me that way. What is fucking wrong with you?" I mean, it was like, geez, like, I'm like, well, who getting on her damn nerve and this on vacation time? And so all I heard was her yelling at somebody in the van. And so I couldn't really see, because I was looking for like an adult to respond. And all I seen was a little tiny kid get out, because she was like, "Get the fuck out my vehicle." And he was like, "Fine, forget you." And then he walked away. I mean, this boy had to be at least, I'll say, probably 7 or 8 years old. And I'm like, he having a hardcore argument with his mama. She got him out there at the resort. They supposed to be having family fun. And she done got fed up and cussing the boy out like he a grown behind man. And he probably did say something smart out of the mouth, ain't no telling. But that was like, I started to record it, but I was like, nah, because it was too hot and I was trying to hurry get me some ice. But I was like, if you got to take a vacation with a child that you know is very unruly, you can't really get upset, especially if it's a child that you raised. If that child is acting out, that's a reflection of you. I always tell my students, including my own personal kids, I said, look, when we go into public, and I tell my students, when we go on a field trip and you start acting like you don't have self-control, you are embarrassing yourself. Not only are you embarrassing yourself, you embarrassing your parents. And then on top of that, your parents gonna embarrass you. And you know, parents don't cut no slack when we embarrass kids. So that's why I always tell my kids, if you got a problem with something I said or something I did, you better save it until we get somewhere away from people. Because don't try to trigger me while we out in public. Because, you know, somebody come at me trying to correct me on how I'm talking to you and disciplining you, you probably gonna end up going with that stranger. So, and not all strangers are friendly. They might get in your business, but they're not all friendly. So I always try to tell my kids, be mindful of how you speak and how you behave when we're out in public places. And if you take your kids out more often, then you have less issues. You know, you don't have to worry about your child having temper tantrums and trying to steal out the store and trying to, you know, embarrass you and run their mouth. You know, they already be familiar and trained with the routine of going out and about. So yeah, I wanted to kind of squeeze that in, because I'm like, yeah, sometimes we be needing a mini vacation, but we might have to do a vacation inside that mini vacation. But before my stuff get cold, which is kind of too late, I want to see how y'all feel about me expanding my video, because I want to do something different and start getting into skits or acting. I have been told plenty of times that I can be very dramatic. So I said, well, hey, why not I entertain others with it, since I'm so dramatic. I have a lot of information and a lot of wisdom to bring with it. So just want to get y'all points, y'all thoughts. Please share it below in the comment section. Make sure they didn't do me wrong and didn't put no meat in it. But I'm gonna finish this up and then come back to you with another video. Hopefully, like I said, this does well with my stomach. It's time for me to take care of my 3 S's. That is, it's time for me to go shit, shower, and possibly go to sleep. So if you want to take a dump with me, stay tuned. Well, hello. Thank you for joining me as I prepare to take a dump. So, as you can see, I am getting nice and ready for you. And whoop, peekaboo. Now, let me stop playing. Whoa. What am I wearing? That is emoji poops. Yes, poops. You ever heard of the saying, you are full of shit? Well. Let's look closely and you will see that I have a load or a bundle of different shits that's going deep down in the toilet. Okay, so let's see. The first one we are going to dump is should it be abandonment? I think I'll come back to that a little later. I think I'm gonna go with people pleasing. That's it. People pleasing. So let's talk about people pleasing. Putting others before your own needs and desires. Emotional needs stems from emotional neglect and abuse. And how I dropped that load is I started setting boundaries, not afraid of saying no, and I accept rejection. You got to recognize your value. The next one we're going to look at is codependency. That is similar to people pleasing, but it means being reliant on a person's needs and approval. And I used to find myself caught up in that a lot, especially on my job and trying to make my husband happy, my mama happy, my kids happy. So it can be draining. So in order to release the load of codependency, it's important that you acknowledge the issue, challenge negative thoughts, build your self-esteem, and give yourself grace and passion. It's not an overnight thing, but if you keep trying, you will get better. All right, let's look at the other turd that many of us are carrying around, and that's insecurities. Insecurities is defined as the feeling of uncertainty, inadequacy, or lack mindset. Many people show insecurities through their attitude and their actions. Sometimes it even shows up as envy of others. They're concerned about their body image, they're concerned about their performance or have anxiety, and they always need reassurance. And I will say that do not allow that to stop you from loving yourself and from realizing that there's always another day you can get up and make changes and better life choices when it comes to your image. So if you are ready to make that change, join me and lighten that load and drop the turd. All right, so we're doing so well so far. Let's see what else we can get rid of so we can have a better, refreshed mindset and body. Oh, depression. There are different types of depression, but I am going to just focus on the basic. And depression is a mood disorder that is caused by persistent feelings of sadness, loss of interest that interferes with your daily life function. Depression shouldn't last no more than 2 weeks, and it is normal to feel depressed about a death of a loved one or a friend or even a pet. When someone is ill, stressed, and overwhelmed, or experience a sexual assault. 3 different things that I've tried is therapy. There, if you get the right one that's a good fit, they give pretty good tools to kind of keep you motivated and about life. I've tried medication. I don't recommend it because of the side effects. I don't like feeling dopey all day. I'm a very energetic, outgoing person. I like to be alert. And then sometimes you just have to change your lifestyle or make adjustments of who you hang around. If you're around a lot of negative, toxic people that's trying to rain on your parade and make you feel less than, you may want to choose a different group of people to hang around, even if you love them, even if they're family, friends, or a partner. So those are some things you have to keep in mind when you're trying to heal yourself for the best. So say la vie, you going down with the pee-pee. Okay, we are winding down to the last 2 parasites that affects your mind and your body too. Abandonment. Abandonment is failing to provide for your child's basic needs, balance food, shelter, clothing, supervision, and this involves absent parents as well that do not give financial support, and it often leads to the person having low self-esteem or mental health because they don't feel important enough for their parents to stick around or be well taken care of. So when we're recovering from abandonment issues, it is best that you acknowledge how you are feeling. Only you know how you feel on the inside. No one else can tell you how you're supposed to feel, no matter even if they're the cause of your abandonment. Try to develop a support system, some positive friends. Sometimes they can be a better support than your own family members. Always, always work on your affirmations. It is almost like a training or program for the brain to think differently about itself. Celebrate your achievements, your strengths. Even if you mess up, keep trying. Start over. So go abandon that turd. All right, we're moving right along and getting ready to release this last turd. All right, addictions. Okay, so it is considered a chronic condition. It is like a disease that involves compulsive seeking or taking substances or performing an activity despite negative or harmful consequences. And I know a lot of us have different types of addictions, from food to buying, spending unnecessary money, to just being addicted to power, sex, all of it. We have to get it under control, especially if it is affecting our livelihood and causing us to lose relationships. So never let addiction control you. You control it. You have the power. Change your mindset. So overall, now that we have dropped a load of shit, you gotta constantly detox yourself. Some of these feelings may try to work its way back in you. It's just like you getting a craving for ice cream or cookies or candy. You gotta keep detoxing. Every time you get a hold of unhealthy things or unhealthy people or negative thoughts, be free. Know I love you. Peace out.